Hi, it's been a hot minute since I've made a video. I am very happy to be sitting on my floor, staring at a camera and just kind of yapping for a while because it's been a minute and I do miss it. I've just been so overwhelmed with life. I've been so overwhelmed with balancing out a lot of different things, and I'll go in a little bit more detail later on, but I thought today would be fun to just give a general update about the apartment, about plants, certain ones specifically, and kind of just shoot the shit. It's only been a month, but I also can say in that time frame, I think it's been a little bit longer than a month, but in that time frame, a lot has changed. Some really good stuff and some really bad stuff, but that's just kind of how it goes, you know? To start off with a banger, we're gonna talk about the elephant in the room, which to you can't see, but if you were to walk into my apartment, it's like one of the first things you see because it takes up a lot of space. So this is my Tycon. I got this at a grocery store, and I'll talk a little bit more about how that ended up happening because it was kind of a really big deal. First and foremost, let's just take a peek. Like, she's everything. She's so gorgeous, such beautiful, like creamy variegation. You can see on some of the other leaves, it's definitely, the whites are starting to brown, which is okay. I expected that. I'm not someone that's expecting for perfection with, I think, a lot of my plants. If I can maintain it, awesome. Realistically, I'm human and I have a lot I'm doing, so I'm not gonna sweat if there's a little bit of browning on the white end. You know, as long as the plant is alive and it's pushing out new growth, that's really all that matters. And luckily, it's hard to really tell, but this leaf in the back right here is actually the newest leaf. And I'm pretty impressed with how big it came out. It is kind of weird. I wish it grew out a little bit taller. Not sure why it didn't. I know these guys like to crawl, so it could be something on that line. Either way, I am just in love with this. Going back on how I got it, I'm in a lot of different Facebook groups with plants and just all kinds of things like that in general, and there was someone who was working in one of the local grocery like floral departments that was like, hey y'all, they're getting Tycons, and people were like, okay, work, you know, super exciting. But then they're like, no, they're getting like big Tycons, and for like a really good price. And so people were like, oh, okay. And so the first batch hit one of the random grocery stores and the photos went out. Oh, it was over. Every man for themselves, all hands on deck. The girlies were fighting tooth and nail to get one of these. There's multiple stores across the valley that were getting them. They were just getting them at different times. So it was kind of like this, okay, check the Facebook groups. As soon as one person saw and was like, yeah, they're here, a race. Post after post, you just see, hey, there's 20, hey, there's 15, hey, there's 5. Like, it just going down quick, and just photo after photo of people getting their Tycons. Off the list itself, it looked like there was only 2 more stores that were supposed to get them. Neither store was close to me, and both on opposite sides of the valley. So I had my eyes out, and of course, someone posted and said, yo, they're at the store. It was like 35 minutes of a drive. I hauled to get over there to get this guy. And when I got in there, could not find them, was freaking out. I was checking the post. People were like, yeah, there's like 5 or 6 more. And that was maybe when I was like 3 minutes away. So I was like, okay, they gotta be here. I'm looking, I see one girl, she had like 2 or 3 in her basket. I was like, damn, that's a wrap. Like, I'm not getting one. So I walk over and I'm like talking to like the floral people in the grocery store. Poor souls. They looked so scared. They looked really confused and honestly a little mad, which I respect because I also would be like, why the hell are people coming in hot for this dumb plant? They have these in these dark corner just pushed away. And there's like, I think 4 or 3 when I got there. So I pull out like 2 of them because the third one, I was like, okay, this one looks fine. And then I pulled out the other 2 and I saw this one. I was like, I really like this one. So I ended up grabbing it. As I'm literally checking out and walking out, I literally get to my car. I see one go. I'm in my car, I'm driving away, another one goes. They went so quick. And to this day, I have yet to see more of them in, at least at this size. We're at the point now, and I don't know, it seems like a lot of other places that aren't even just based in it, like specifically Arizona, are starting to get Tycons in like 4-inch and 6-inch, and they look really good and they're really cute. I have not seen big ones like this. And when I did, I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna go for it. This was $120? 120 or 130, which like, If you know, you know. That's like kind of a steal. But yeah, I was in it. I was so in it. As soon as I saw it, I sold my other little one. I was like, goodbye, I'm done. Like, I want this. I'm so sorry. Gave up on that one so quick. So I ended up selling that one. I just have this one now. And I am just so in love. The leaf came out so gorgeous, like I said. I'll try to get like a better shot. I don't know if I got any photos or videos of the leaf like unfurling or coming out or anything like that, but it is absolutely crazy just to see how gorgeous this plant really is. It is in, I believe, a 12-inch pot, and it's time. It needs to get repotted. I am gonna do it. I'm still on the fence about when I'm gonna do it because in other news, we're moving again. We just moved, not even a year ago. Technically in June, or I think the 1st of July or the end of June. Yeah, around that time is when we technically moved into this apartment. But we moved towards the end of May, so less than a month. I'll talk a little bit more about that. I am excited, but also not excited for a couple different reasons. But hey, life is life. You just gotta do what you gotta do, right? But beyond the fact, I am very much in love with this. I'm going to baby this. I'm going to make sure it does very, very well. That is my goal. As of now, I have it literally just against my west-facing window. It takes up a lot of space over there. It just exists. I don't have anywhere else to put it. Very impulsive buy, I know. I wanted to get a grow light. Guess what? I have yet to buy a grow light. I keep saying I'm gonna get grow lights. It's just not gonna happen anytime soon. When I move into the new place, I probably will though, because I don't think I'm gonna get anywhere near as much light as I'm getting. The next one I wanna talk about is one that I'm pretty sad about. I was really, really hoping that I could make it work, and it did not. You're gonna see very quickly that my Madagascar palm did not survive, unfortunately. Oh, let's not sniff this. Oh no, this isn't the one. Hey, you're gonna hurt yourself, come here. So this is what I'm working with right now. It's dead. It's like dead. There's no like going back to this, unfortunately. Maybe I could have done something a little bit more airy. Maybe I could have added sand. Whatever the case may be, I probably could have done some extra stuff to it. But I was hoping that I could at least keep it going by the time we moved, because the new space will have a balcony. I think it was gonna be able to do really good in that situation, but unfortunately, yeah, we're not we're not making it. We're done. We're cut. I think what I'm gonna do right now is I think I'm just gonna get this taken care of real quick because it's just been sitting there and it's also drooping. So I think it's time to get rid of it. I've had it like kind of pushed up against my mirror so that it wasn't like super low, but I think I'm gonna just go through, we're gonna take it out. We'll look to see what the roots look like. I'm not expecting anything super crazy. It does look like it rotted from the base maybe, because it is squishy, but even before the base situation, it was starting to get hollow. I was squeezing it, I was like, you're hollow, this is not good. I was also deciding if I wanted to like cut it and like try to just grow it out that way. But I'm gonna be real, I think I just want like a really big one. This is like one of those ones where like I will probably impulsively buy a big one if I run into another one at some point, especially if I do have an outside space. I think it needs the heat, I think it needs to just be outside. It doesn't need direct light by any means. I think if it's just in a nice shaded area, but outside getting that warmth and heat, I generally do think it would do absolutely fine. That's how I picked it up. It was literally in a shaded porch, outside, year round. That was how it was growing, and that's why it looked so gorgeous. So we're gonna try again whenever I do run into one that I like that's at a reasonable price. Because honestly, they're kind of expensive when they get big, which is fair because I feel like they take a minute to grow. But I'm also not trying to throw money down like that. You know, you get it, you know. Oh my God, did you guys just hear my knee pop? That's so gross. I need a towel. I just realized this is not gonna work unless I have like at least a little hand towel. I don't even feel like I need anything big because of our circumstance. I think I'm just gonna grab 2 of these little hand towels. And hey, if it doesn't work, we're gonna find out real quick because I'm gonna be in pain. Yeah, no, this will be fine. Can I just like... Okay, work. I didn't really have to do much. Wow, the root system did not grow at all. Yeah, it definitely rotted out. For sure. And what's crazy is it doesn't even smell, you know when you smell rot, it doesn't even smell like rot, so I don't even know. But yeah, you can literally just see where it like kind of snapped. I wanted to see if I can like look inside it. But this was definitely a big bummer. I was so sad. It was so gorgeous. I absolutely let this thing shrivel and die. I think I might save the soil, to be honest. I think I'm gonna look through and see if there's any like roots in there and stuff. But I think I'm gonna put this to the side. I think I'm gonna go through it, and then I have a big bucket from Lowe's that I usually will keep soil in. I think I'll just kind of like go through it and see about saving it, because that's a lot of soil. And if it didn't even like grow out the way that I was hoping it to, then I don't feel like it would be a bad idea to save it. I feel like it's kind of a waste at that point. I feel like I need to just go like throw this away right now. Like I need to go put on like shoes and just go run to the trash. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be right back. Now that that's taken care of, I'm gonna go just put this back in the corner, and then I'm gonna deal with this later. And then I'm gonna give you an update on one of my anthuriums, cause ooh. So the anthurium in question is my Quinum. If you watched my one video where I repotted this and 2 other anthuriums, I did all of them from moss into soil, which I had a feeling was potentially gonna go bad, but I'm also very optimistic. The other 2, my Bessier and my Veitchii, are doing all right. Veitchii dropped a couple leaves. The new leaf finally hardened off. I did check the soil on both of those ones, and there is new growth. So thumbs up, I'm gonna let them do their thing. I'm not expecting any new leaves for a while with them, I think, but we'll see. This one, as soon as I took it out of the pot, it was raw, and I was like, no, please. This is the one that was growing pretty consistently for me. It was doing really good in moss. I just really wanted it to get moved into soil. I feel like it just wasn't growing to its full potential. It was kind of in this weird spot where like I would get a new leaf, it would look pristine, and the old leaf would die. And then I get a new leaf, it would look pristine, it would die. The leaves were always getting slightly bigger, so I was feeling really confident about that, but the old ones would die. And so I was like, you know what? I wonder if it's because it's in moss. Like maybe it needs a different type of substrate. Like let me mess with it. So I tried soil. I'm kind of just going with it. I'm gonna be real, like, I think we're done. I think this is done. I'm not giving up on the chunk though. I think the chunk might have potential. I wrapped the top base with moss, and I just missed it once every couple of days, very, very lately. And I've been just feeling the weight of this one, trying to gauge it that way. Because obviously I don't want it to go bone dry, but I don't want it to stay too wet. I don't think it is. I don't even think it's like a rot thing. Well, it was dealing with rot. I don't think it's sitting wet anymore, especially because of how small of a pot I put it in. Because the root system that was left wasn't awful, just wasn't that big. It wasn't big enough for a 6-inch pot. It was realistically better for a 4-inch. So I do have hopes that maybe something can come out of this. As I look at the new growth, it is browned out, and I just don't know if anything's gonna come out from there. We do have nodes on the chunk itself, so I'm rooting for it. We're gonna see what goes on. If it dies, it's not the end of the world. I had a really good experience with this plant. I think in general, if I can't get this to resuscitate, I would get it again. I think my only difference is I would maybe try to do something like lechuza, or maybe like just any type of like pond mix. I've seen a lot of videos, a lot of videos, and it seems like these guys just do better in pond. I don't know. I might be wrong. It could be environmental. It could be whatever, but this is in a cabinet. It's like usually 80% and up humidity in there. It was doing fine in the moss, like I said. It just wasn't really, it wasn't maintaining at least 2 or 3 leaves. At one point when I first had it, I had like 3 leaves, 4 leaves almost. It was so pretty. But then it just turned into one after one after one. And I really wanted to try to figure it out, and this is what I got. So I'm gonna let the leaf stay on here. Do I think it's gonna survive? Probably not. We're probably cooked, and that's a-okay. It happens. I'm not gonna get too fraught. My other worry too is with me moving, if this is fighting for its life, it's really gonna be fighting for its life. I think I'm gonna need to sit down and make a game plan of how I'm gonna maneuver stuff. We did okay last year, and luckily we're not moving in the middle of the hottest time, which is usually like June, July-ish. But we're only a month before that, so it's still gonna be pretty hot. We're gonna just see how it goes in general, but this is it. Very sad. I am happy about the other 2. They don't look amazing, but they're not dying. And I think that's the biggest thing that I'm happy about. I'm okay with things looking ugly for X amount of time, as long as I know the roots are growing, as long as I know it's doing something of some form. Fine, cook, do your thing. I'm not one to stop you. But this is where we're at with the Werequinum. We will see. The next plant that I want to talk about, I've had forever. I posted it first in a video like way back. I got it for free. It's a philodendron, but it's a type of hybrid, and I don't remember what the hybrid name is. I think I do remember it in my old video, so if I can, I'll go look back and I'll just put the name up that way. But it originally was in soil, and it was just not doing good, and it was just kind of like, eh. So I ended up cutting it, and I got 2 cuttings out of it, and this is where we're at now. It is so cute. I think it's like a melochrysum and something else mixed. I might be wrong. It actually ended up putting out 2 growth points. So I have this other little baby one that's been just kind of pushing out, and honestly it is doing really good on top of the main one here. As you can see, it is leaning. It is really going through it. It is pushing out bigger leaves by the day, and it's also working on a new leaf already. So it's very happy, it's doing really good. I think I need to repot it though. I think it's time. I feel like if I wait any longer, we might run into issues where I feel like it's gonna just snap, and it would kind of be a bummer to let this one snap. I think we're gonna go through and repot it. I do have a moss pole, like a spare one. I don't really like moss poles. The only reason why I don't like them is because I just don't have the time or the focus to maintain moss poles the way that I think you really need to maintain them. I think we're gonna go that route. It has really pretty nodes. I feel like I have a chance to actually get this to grow into it, and I don't have any other moss pole plants right now. So if I have one, maybe I can maintain that one a little bit better than I have trying to maintain like 3 or 4. Having it grow in leca, it's hard to see because there's a lot of like algae and stuff in there. And I think I can get this into a 4-inch pot, but if you could see the stem the way I can see the stem, it is very small, which is also why I feel like if another leaf comes out, this is just gonna like snap right off. So let's go get set up. Let's do a quick little repot on this one, and let's get it all staked up onto a moss pole as well. Before we get focused on the repot, I wanted to like kind of just sneak in and give a shout out to my Pachira aquatica. Can we just talk about how massive these leaves are right now? I'm like eating it up. It's so prehistoric vibes, and like what's so crazy is like, especially this one up here, they haven't all hardened off yet. They're still growing. I'm really happy about it. I didn't think it would do so good in this corner because it's not like, it's a bright room. Like I always forget how bright this space is, but it barely gets any direct light. So I didn't think it was gonna do that well, but it's doing so good here. I was originally thinking about doing something where I pretty much go through and kind of lift it up, and I was gonna use like fishing line or twine or something to kind of help lift it up and pin it straight. Because when you look at it and you see how tall it actually is, it's so pretty. Like, I'm kind of fangirling over this one. I wasn't expecting it to push out such big leaves and to look so gorgeous. With the move happening in a month, even though it's gonna take me like 5 minutes, I just don't feel like it's worth it. But I'm gonna make it look pretty and then just be like, eh. Because I also don't ever really move this plant. I just come and water it where it's at. So that's another reason why I was like, I could maybe do this and I think it'd be fine. But I did want to give a little shout out to this because she kind of deserves it, I think. She's kind of putting in the work and she's showing off big time. Alrighty, I got my scissors, my twine, moss pool, soil, pot, leca catcher plant. We got it, okay. So first and foremost, I am just going to lean and just dump out everything here. Oh, okay, wait. Oh my God, okay. Oh, you got roots, girly. Okay, wait. I didn't realize how many roots were in here. I saw a handful, so I was like, okay, it's doing its thing. I'm so scared I'm gonna snap this. I'm pulling out the piece that doesn't have anything. I'm scared that there's a lot of roots connected to it, but I'm thinking if I do that, I might be able to break whatever's holding it all together. Wait, who are you? I did not realize you were gonna be putting out roots like this. I mean, it makes sense, but okay, wow. Here's the problem, and I wanna know if anyone who uses leca runs into this and if there's like a really good way to avoid it. But like, what do you do when the roots are like in the leca, like in the clay itself? I try to just kind of massage and shimmy because I feel like that's like the best thing I can do. All right, I think I'm gonna take some time to really just not mess up. Guess whose camera didn't record? It recorded for 5 seconds, literally right after I got the leca off, and I am so mad because I literally was yapping for like 10 minutes straight. Did the repot. Isn't it cute? It looks good. I'm pretty happy with it in general. We'll see how it goes. While I was doing this, I did talk about something that I was very excited about, and so I'm gonna like try to not yap too much on it. One of the big reasons why I've been having a hard time making videos and like maintaining and keeping up is because of just my time management more than anything, but also just with how much stuff is going on right now. I mentioned that we're moving in a month, so that's very stressful. It's gonna be time to start packing up. I think I'm gonna get everything cleaned up and organized and get it set exactly how I want. I think I'm gonna take photos of the apartment, which I know sounds really like random, but I do have an immense love for this place and it means the world to me, and I have just loved what it turned into. Is it exactly what I wanted it to be? No. Did I get all the things that I wanted in the places that I wanted? No. But that's okay. I think with what we've had and what was able to make happen, I think this place ended up really cute and really cozy, and I am really, really proud of it more than anything. But that's besides the fact. The big thing that I wanted to talk about was the time management and kind of what was taking up a lot of my time. I was doing photography on the side. I have my job now, which I've been there for 2 months, which is kind of crazy. And the other stuff that was taking up my time was, yes, I do stream a couple days a week, but I've been working on something for like about 8 months now. This has been something I wanted to do forever. And when I ended up getting let go from my previous job, it kind of kickstarted the movement for me, but I have been slowly starting my own plant shop. I'm still working on a lot of stuff, so consider this a extremely soft launch because I'm not where I wanted to be exactly just yet. I actually did my first vendor event selling plants, and the amount of positive energy, the support, everything that I've gotten, like words cannot describe. I had so many wonderful people come up and tell me how gorgeous my plants were, how knowledgeable I was, how cute the booth was, and just really supportive and just really, really excited for me as I told them, like, this is my first event, this is that. And just being like, oh, are you doing this? Are you gonna be here? I can't wait to see you more. Like, the love is there, and like it is so fulfilling. I think anyone in this world can understand how nice it feels when you feel like you're doing something that makes sense. And right now, at least in this moment, I feel like I'm doing something that makes sense. And it's hard and it's taking a lot more time than I thought it would, but I'm seeing progress. I'm seeing really good things happening, and I am just so excited for what the future holds. If you are in Arizona and you do want to catch me, I will be doing another vendor event at the end of May. I will post a little bit more about it and kind of talk about it for those who are interested, or even if you just want to see like, yo, what's going on? I think I'm going to try to record some footage, or at least maybe show the booth or catch a couple of moments. Everyone out here is so sweet and so fun, and it's just so cool to just be able to share knowledge and take knowledge from people and just talk plants and like get people excited about plants in that way. Like, I don't know, it's just really, really fulfilling for me. Thank you for letting me yap. Once again, this is that philodendron. I'm very happy on how it looks. As you can see, she's sat. She's sat. We love to see it. I am gonna go get this watered, and then I think I'm gonna go put it close over by the humidifier like I mentioned before. It's been consistently growing. I know it's humid enough for it in here, so I feel like if I put it just a little bit closer, it might be a good call, especially since we're going from like a leca water situation to straight soil. So I'm definitely gonna wanna make sure this stays just a little bit more moist, I think, for the first like couple weeks if I can. So that is going to be a wrap for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I really, really hope you enjoyed. I had so much fun sitting down, yapping away, talking about all the plants and giving updates. I was so happy to talk about the Monstera Tycon and finally show off that big guy. The updates on the Pachira aquatica, the new growth is phenomenal. I'm so proud. But also being able to talk about the flops like the Madagascar palm and the Werequenum, just kind of showcasing like like, what has been going on in here? I'm very proud of everything. Yes, those 2 things are a flop. It happens. Life goes on. You know how it is. But in general, it feels really good to record this video today. I'm hoping I can keep the same energy going up. And in general, I'm also just really happy to share a little bit more of updates with me and like my personal life and what's going on, especially with like moving in the next month and the next vendor event and just kind of getting more and more involved with the business and what I want to do. There's just a lot of fun stuff going on. It's overwhelming. It's taking up a lot of time, but I'm getting into a groove and I'm really excited about that. I wanted to double check. Are you guys interested if I did like a moving video? Do you want to see something like that? I did one before. I did a really bad one before, I guess I should probably say. I didn't record as much as I wanted to, and I don't feel like I would be any better this time around. But if that's something y'all are interested in and just seeing how that goes and what that looks like, let me know. I would be more than happy to attempt to make another video there. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy it and you're new here, definitely hit the thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. It helps me out tremendously. If you know anyone who thinks would be interested in watching more of my videos, definitely give it a little share as well. That also helps a big time. But with that being the case, I hope you have a lovely rest of your day or night, wherever you may be, and I'll catch you in the next one. Later.